Welcome to Winnipeg. I'm Emily Potter. Tonight we have the Winnipeg CEBL hosting the Calgary Surge. Winnipeg is coming in at an even 500 with a 4-4 record. They've had 6 of their 8 games on the road, so they're going to enjoy 4 games at home in the month of June. Calgary, on the other hand, is still searching for their first win. They have a new interim head coach, and their last win actually came last season in the playoffs against Winnipeg in this very building. So we'll see what happens tonight. Let's go to Dave and Joey with more.
All right, thank you, Emily. And yes, Dave Crook, it has been a long time since the Calgary Surge have found the win column. An 0-8 start. No one had that on the radar to begin the CEBL season. Yet here we are, but hey, it's not done until it's done. It's a tough start, but nothing they can't get out of. They can start stringing some wins together.
Sorry, yeah, they could find their way back. The interesting thing, they've been one of the most consistent franchises in the league. So to see them, stumble off to the start they got is shocking.
Yeah, well, and they've made the moves they've had to make. Perry Wang was let go 2 games ago after Dave DeViro made his debut last game. Another loss, and they've not had a practice yet, Dave. That's another tough thing for this team. I mean, they're playing with a new coach and having no real practice time.
It's tough to find your way back, and if Dave DeViro's a great coach, and hopefully he can find a way to make it work.
Yeah, and they lost 8, but there's been a few streaks that have been that would get them back in this. The record is 9 wins, and it was done back in 2019 with the Edmonton Stingers. If they can start with 1 here, that would be huge. And they have the winning taste in their mouth from being here in the West the West Final against the CEBL last year. But let's take a look now at the stats for tonight's game and see what we're getting into here. Both teams have plenty of games under their belt, and as you can see, advantage to the CEBL on a lot of it. 97.6 points the CEBL are scoring this season to Calgary's 88. 48% field goal percentage, real good for the CEBL. 43 for the Calgary Surge. Free throws about even, 3-point edge again going to the CEBL, and the assists are dead even, and that is something both of these teams like to do when it is effective, is get out in transition. So a lot of those come from the defensive end when it's clicking. Yeah,
I mean, they share the ball, they move it. I think the stats are indicative of the records. Winnipeg obviously has played much better. They've got some tough losses. Calgary's just stumbled, and it's difficult. So it'll be, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think the big thing is, can Calgary, break the ice tonight?
And before we get to the keys to the game, our Emily Potter had a chance to catch up with CEBL head coach Mike Rainbow ahead of this one. Here's the interview.
Okay, Coach, you have Isaiah Osborne making his debut. So obviously with a few Canadian players battling some injuries, what do you expect from him today and then in the rest of the season, him coming in as a Canadian player?
He's done a really great job in the first few days. Obviously he's a really experienced player. He's a veteran guy. He's super high IQ. He's able to shoot it. He's pretty good off the dribble, creating for other people, and he guards. So we're really excited to see what he can do in his first game.
Yes, you had a long stretch of road games, but you had a little bit of time to actually get in the gym and practice now. So is there anything you're looking to see some big jumps from your team today and those things that you put into place in practice?
Yeah, it was a tough road trip with the back-to-back, so we're happy to be back at home. It feels like it's been a long time since we played here. For us, we're still continuing to try to, just follow our process and try to play our best game. We feel like we have to continue to work at taking care of the ball and finishing possessions with rebounds, probably 2 areas of concern.
Okay, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a while since the Winnipeg CEBL have played here at Canada Life Centre. 6 of their first 8 games have been on the road. They're happy to be home tonight. Game time coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love a Canadian goose.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is the trail, this is the real, and all that I gotta say. I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back. It's time now for our keys to the game. I'm Joey Slattery alongside Dave Crook. And Dave, for the Surge, I mean, there's a lot that we could probably pin here, but what are the three main things you're looking at tonight?
Well, I think, the first thing is they've got to, attack the Seabears with penetration. Gilliard's got to get involved. They got to get into the screen and roll game. Miller Moore off the bounce. They got to put them in jeopardy. I think they have to defensive rebound. If they give the Seabears second chance opportunities and points, that could really come back to haunt them. And then I think the key to the game is a new coach bounce. Like, can DeVero change the attitude, change the look, make things happen? So we'll see if he can be impactful to their start.
Keys to the game brought to you by CDIC. Looking over now to the Winnipeg Seabears. Looking for the Canadians to have a bigger role here tonight, Dave.
Yeah, I think they have to have Canadian impact. Part of that's because Acot's out. Acot's like the Swiss Army knife. He gets so many things done for the Seabears. Without him, I think those other guys really have to come to the table and make things happen. Ball screen defense, which I highlighted on the other side, it's a real weapon for the Surge, and it's something Winnipeg's going to have to deal with all night long. And lastly, they got to protect the den. We talked about the fact they've played 6 of their 8 on the road, and they've come out of that with a 4-4 record. If they can look after things in this building, they'll put themselves in a pretty good position coming into the season.
And historically, this building has been very friendly, and it's been very friendly this season. Now taking a look at our starting lineup, some familiar faces in the lineup for Calgary. Ruggsy Miller-Moore in with Damian Baugh, NBA experience there with Baugh. Addy Patterson, Evan Gilliard the second, and Javonte Brown rounding out the starting lineup for Calgary. For Winnipeg, Teddy Buckets. Teddy Allen getting the start yet again, so is Trey McGowan's. Simon Hildebrandt will get the start, our player to watch today. And Isaiah Osborne getting the start in his Seabears debut. He just arrived 4 days ago, and he will get the start here tonight. And Jeremiah Tillman Jr., one of the most dependable shooters on the field, rounding it out for Winnipeg. Now for our players to watch, who do you have highlighted here, Dave, for the Calgary Surge? I mean,
Ruggsy Miller-Moore, he seems to love this building, plays well here. I think every time he's in town, he's a dynamic, active player. He gives everybody a hard time, but he certainly gives the Seabears a hard time. I think he's great. I love to watch him play. I know you feel the same way, and he can do a lot of things well.
One of the most entertaining players in the league, a legend in this league, if I say so myself. Moving on now to the home team, the Winnipeg Seabears, another Canadian you have highlighted.
Yeah, they need the Canadians to step forward, and a big part of that's going to be Simon Hildebrandt. I know he's done a better job. I know he had a fairly good road trip, did some nice things. We know he can shoot it. Can he rebound? Can he be impactful? Can he pass the ball? And can he move his feet and play defense? If he can do those things along with make his open shots, he can be a real important piece for Winnipeg.
And we had Simon Hildebrandt on the Target Score Winnipeg podcast, and he talked about just that and what the difference has been with Mike Rainbow, another U Sports coach, a battle of U Sports coaches here tonight, head coaches for both teams in the U Sports realm. But one thing that Simon Hildebrandt said was a room for growth in his game came with rebounding being one of the big ones, and defensively, right? So this is something he feels has already been part of his game, and we've seen it a little bit, but it just needs to be that consistency. And we have to remember, too, with a guy like Simon Hildebrandt, and there are very few players like him that came up and had such an impact as a U Sports development player, right? That we think that he's been playing in the CBL as a true pro for years, but really this is his first true pro year. As we look how they stack together. Yeah, Ruggsy Miller-Moore, many more points. He got here later in the season. 47% from the field, 3.2 assists. Simon Hildebrand, 51% from the field. He's been pretty consistent there, but the rebounding, as you see, Ruggsy Miller-Moore has the advantage there, so he will have his hands full tonight, as will the Sea-Bears with rebounds. They are dead even when it comes to rebounding. The Sea-Bears, though, the better record winner. Calgary trying to get back into this season. They're 0-8. And I talked to Evan Gilliard before this game. He said, all that matters is tonight. Every game is our championship game from here on in, but you need one to string two together. Time now for our tip-off presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. Winnipeg going to get that tip. McGowan's will kick it off for the Sea-Bears. Osborne getting his first touch here as a member of the Winnipeg Sea-Bears. Takes the screen from Tillman. Pops up for three. Cans it. Good start for Isaiah Osborne.
Winnipeg bench not going to be unhappy with that action. Nice open shot, knocks it down, but he's a veteran. He's a smart player.
Gilliard now looking for the response, working on Allen. Gets it over to Boss. Swing pass intercepted by Osborne. Here he goes on the run, and another 2 points for Isaiah Osborne. He had pent-up energy, it looks like.
Yeah, good start. Winnipeg doing a decent job there defensively, trying to really hold the Surge on the perimeter and not let them get that penetration.
Ruggsy Miller-Moore gets it out to the wing. Here's Baugh now. Back to Miller-Moore for three. Boom. From the corner, Ruggsy Miller-Moore gets Calgary on the board.
Beautiful inside-out basketball there by the Surge. Got the ball into the paint. Winnipeg collapses. Have to play closeout. Too late. Ruggsy knocks down the 3-ball.
Tillman Jr. in the post now. Manhandling his way down low, puts it off the glass for another 2.
He's great when he's patient, backs guys in, really difficult to guard, spins, and it stays down.
Gilliard going to pull up, no good. Brown had the rebound for a second. It was knocked out, last touched by Winnipeg, so Calgary will be inbounding at the baseline.
But that's one of those rebounds that Simon has to get. He's got to be aggressive there and go and get the ball.
Brown has it at the wing, hand off to Gilliard. Gilliard finds some space in the middle, hands it upstairs, and Brown will put down the alley-oop.
And there it is, that little screen and roll action. It's difficult. Winnipeg's going to have to figure out a way to guard. They can't just sit back, in the down position and let Gilliard come to them. They're going to have to step up and be aggressive.
2-point ball game here early, almost at the 2-minute mark. Teddy Allen puts up a 3, clanks it, and the rebound. A fight between 2 Calgary Surge players as Brown and Miller-Moore are going to laugh it off on the way up the court. Gilliard on McGowan's. Pulls up mid-range, and he cans that one. Nice shot from Evan Gilliard.
He's one of the best guards in this league. He can really play basketball. Really knows how to attack.
Gilliard got into it last year with Greg Brown during championship weekend. Said if he was here all year last year, he would have had MVP and defensive player and all that locked up. So he's here with something to prove as the rebound's taken in by Tillman Jr. and he'll put in another 2. That's 4 points for Jeremiah Tillman. Long lead pass, out of reach and out of bounds. Winnipeg will get it right back.
Traditionally, that's been one of the weaknesses for the Sea-Bears, that defensive transition portion of the game. A little bit better effort there.
Officials for tonight's game is crew chief Wasim Husseini. Wyatt Anders are the umpires with Reed Kenyon. Jeremiah Tillman drives baseline, loses the ball. Here come the Surge. Matty Patterson going to pull up for 3, wide open, and he cans that. And Calgary taking their first lead of tonight's game.
Too easy there. They can't give him that open shot. Winnipeg has to do a much better job. Transition is such an important piece of the puzzle.
Hildebrand inside, pulls up from the paint, and he gets the friendly bounce.
Tillman being the provider there. He's got a few touches in the paint already, and that time he sets up Hildebrand. Winnipeg really trying to get inside.
And Ruggsy Miller-Moore puts up a brick, working on Hildebrand. Teddy Allen with speed down the middle. Allen up over Brown, and it rolls in. What a finish from Teddy Allen.
He just finds a way, doesn't he? He's amazing in transition.
Winnipeg rebuilt the 3-point lead. Calgary looking for a response. Substitutions coming in soon for both teams. Here's Miller-Moore with a drive on Hildebrand. High off the glass, can't get it to fall. A rebound for Teddy. Allen hesitates, takes it inside. Around the back pass to Tillman, who can't finish on the first attempt and has it knocked away on the second. Ruggs Miller-Moore in transition, right at Hildebrandt, and he gets two.
Good take. Team paces up and down right now. I'm not convinced it's in either team's advantage so far.
The Gallons. Gilliard got tripped up with Simon Hildebrandt getting called for the illegal screen. So Calgary will get possession as we have substitutions here for both teams. Taking a look at the replay, here's the screen. Oh, it's Tillman Jr., pardon me.
Yes.
Picking up the foul. That's his first team foul number 1. First foul of this game.
Yeah, he didn't stay up and down. In 4.5 minutes we played without fouls, but he wasn't straight up and down, got himself into trouble there, committed that easy call for the official.
Nate Balamu and Trey Scott, as well as Armani Chaney, are in for Winnipeg as that one is up and good.
But again, Winnipeg has to find a way to keep the Surge out of the paint. Calgary getting inside makes things difficult, whether they're scoring at the rim or they're scoring on the perimeter.
Olu Adeladune on the floor here for Calgary, as is Callum Swanton-Roger. Allen pulls up, hand in his face. Might have got a piece of it there, was Patterson. Rebound corralled by Calgary. Gilliard pulls up for 3. Cans it. And there is the famous celebration.
He's really come to play tonight. He looks like he wants to, get things going for the Surge early.
Well, it's urgent times for Calgary now, as Armani Chaney gets his first shot of the game to drop. Sea-Bears down 2. 4:40 left in the first quarter. Gilliard almost has it stolen. Here they go upstairs, but it's knocked away by Scott and out of bounds. Calgary will retain the possession, but they were looking for some fireworks there.
Yeah, good defensive rotation by Trey Scott to get back into the play. But again, Winnipeg has to do a much better job defensively, initially stopping Calgary from getting into the paint.
We've got a timeout called, so we will take a break. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Calgary leads at 17-15.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center, where the Calgary Surge lead the Winnipeg Sea-Bears 17-15. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. Mason Krause into the game for the Winnipeg Sea-Bears. One of the highlights of the season here from the developmental player. Signed his first contract in Germany, as did Simon Hildebrandt for the Sea-Bears. So two former Bisons starting their pro careers in the same country. Here's Calgary now with the inbound. Adeladune. Nice pass inside to Gilliard, who goes right into Krause and lies in another 2. Gilliard now has 7 points.
Real mistake there by the Sea-Bears on that inbounds, leaving the inbounder wide open.
And here's a chance for Scott. He can't get it to fall. Here comes Calgary in transition. They have numbers. Pass a little behind Adeladune, and that was from Gilliard. So the Sea-Bears come out of that one unscathed.
Winnipeg's got to the bench quite a bit early here, so we've seen a lot of guys, coming into the game, where Calgary only played 6 players so far. They were going to log a lot of minutes. It'll be interesting to see as the game runs how that pans out.
Chaney is the floor general here for the Sea-Bears. He blows by Gilliard. 2 Chicago guards going head-to-head. Now it's Balamu. Puts up the floater. It's short. And here's Ruggs Miller-Moore racing down the wing. He's going to go right into his defender, Mason Krause. And it's going to be a block called against Krause. 2 shots coming for Ruggsy Miller-Moore, who's going to take a second here before coming to his feet.
Again, we can see in the replay here that Miller-Moore just busts out, gets a bit of a run out. Kraus just never really gets set, turns his body, didn't want to take that contact score in the chest, and gives up 2 shots to Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Right now, Winnipeg's playing very small. They're playing basically with 5 guards on the floor. You know, it's Balamu, I think, probably playing the 5 spot right now. So an interesting lineup. I think part of that is to try to deal with that dribble penetration and really to see if they can slow down Calgary. Calgary, Miller-Moore playing the 4 spot, so that's a real tough matchup.
Yeah, their starting lineup had 3 guards in it as well, with Hildebrandt and Tillman Jr., so a little bit smaller than we're used to. And tell you what, Dave Crook, if I'm Mason Kraus, I'm not taking that contact either if I'm in his shoes.
Tough one.
Ruggsy Miller-Moore's a big boy.
And he was, full head of steam.
Yeah, very much so. Sea-Bears now down 6. Armani Cheney tried to dig into that. Rebound up for grabs. Ruggsy Miller-Moore with another rebound. Tries to get the pass inside. It's intercepted. Isaiah Osborne is back on the floor, making his impact felt early. Cheney, extra pass inside to Trey Scott, back and forth. No one saw him hanging out by the block down low.
Nice unselfish play. Nice pass underneath. Calgary got caught in a little defensively miscommunication.
And another turnover. It's Teddy Allen with the steal. Allen going right into it, and he's called for the charge on Evan Gilliard. And Teddy Allen, another steal. He has been all over the ball here early this season.
Yeah, he's so active. He's a much different player than we remember in the past. And I think this one is, there's no question. So. Contact square in the chest. There's no rotation. That's an easy call for the official. But, Teddy's done an amazing job, playing both sides of the ball, which I think his first couple of years in the league, we would say wasn't, part of his repertoire. He really was almost a one-sided player, but now he's putting in a shift all the time. I think it's part of the whole philosophy that we're seeing from the Sea-Bears as a whole.
Well, and he said it, with head coach Mike Rainbow. It's a grit, grind, rainbow style of basketball, as he calls it. And he said he loves that style because it gives him an opportunity to win every night. He's really embraced it. Here's Gilliard for 3. No good. Allen with it again. Another bit of a slow start for Allen. 2 points here this evening as Scott catches a bit of a wild pass, gets it back to Allen. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Allen inside to Scott. Scott draws a foul in the process.
Ball goes into Trey Scott. He gets a mismatch there with Gilliard on him. Gilliard has no choice, but he's got to try to swipe in and try to get to the ball. And that one's always going to get called on the inside. Winnipeg's gone back a little bit bigger right now.
Tillman Jr. back on the floor, handing it off to Kraus for 3, and he cans that one. Mason Kraus has been a huge impact player here for the Sea-Bears this season. Here's a pass inside to Gilliard on the fly, and he's blocked by Trey Scott, and the Sea-Bears corral it. Here's Allen getting it to Scott. He's going to pull up mid-range. No good.
Trey Scott is an unbelievable athlete, and that's one thing he can do. He can impact the game with his defense.
And here's another errant pass, and Teddy Allen on the run, taking the pass from Osborne. Has the ball swatted, but he's able to get it back. Second chance opportunity good for Teddy Allen. To your point, Dave Crook, Trey Scott coming back to Winnipeg. He's played a couple games with Calgary. Didn't last long. Came to Winnipeg where he played last year. He started 4 games for the Brooklyn Nets just a few months ago.
Yeah, right at the end of the season. I think he was a 13-7 sort of player last year in the CBL. Pretty effective numbers. A little bit of an undersized, format at times.
Gilliard with the shot clock winding down. Can't get it to fall. Teddy Allen will pick that up. Ball being worked around to the corner. Kraus. No. And ball is picked up. A little bit of a bobble. But Addy Patterson able to get it. Gilliard has to pick up his dribble. Over to Moontu. And that pass is picked off again. Teddy Allen, his second steal in just a couple of minutes. And he gets that one to fall in transition.
Yeah, again, Teddy looking for a little bit of a contact there. Smart play. Didn't get the call. Makes a soft shot off the glass. But again, it's the effort. It's the defense. It's the movement. It's the activity by Winnipeg, which is good. Gilliard, that last time down, looked a little tired almost when he he's flopping for a little bit of a call there late in the shot clock on that possession. So I think part of the thing tonight for Winnipeg is going to be see if they can run the Surge down a little bit, because they don't look like they want to play a lot of people, and I think Winnipeg's comfortable sort of getting people in and out of the game all night long.
51 seconds left here in the first quarter. Dion Edgem getting his first look here tonight.
He's going to take Gilliard out. You can see Gilliard's breathing pretty hard when he came to the sideline.
Going to get an extended break here as the quarter draws near. Here's Calgary down 3. Muntu. Scott guarding him well. Pass over to the side, three-pointer, no good. That was a Deladue, and it goes off the clock, out of bounds. Winnipeg gets it with 36 seconds left. Calgary going to let them come all the way up to half here. Trey McGowan's walking the ball up. McGowan's going right at the rim, passing it out to the corner. Good ball movement from the CBears. Scott, no. Rebound, knocked away. Calgary able to get it. 24 seconds left on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Here's Ba, another player with NBA experience, played 15 games with Charlotte last season. Ba goes right into McGowan's, who falls. Calgary 3 on the shot clock, have to get it up. There it is, no good. 4 seconds on the clock. McGowan's long lead pass to Balamu, who gets tripped up, and it goes out of bounds. 0.1 seconds left.
Winnipeg, I mean, they were trying to get the 2-for-1 there at the end. You know, when McGowan's obviously walked the ball up the floor, they're trying to get that second opportunity. Got it. It was a little bit rushed there because the Calgary, the Surge had used a lot of the clock, but in the end, it's going to be nothing happening here, and we're going to close it out, Joe.
So at the end of the first quarter, your score is Winnipeg 24, Calgary 21. We'll take a quick break and come back with second quarter action. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
RedTag.ca.
Bit of a PBA legend, former overall first pick, 4-time champion. What are you thinking of the atmosphere here?
Well, I like the atmosphere here. That's why it's like some kind of like playing the PBA also.
Yeah, that was my next question. Can you tell us a little bit about that, like just passion and excitement that the fans have in the PBA?
Filipinos love watching basketball, so everyone's there support basketball, even if it's not your home team. So we grew up to watch basketball, so everyone's just out there and having fun to watch the game.
And what advice would you give to younger Filipino players that want to play at that next level?
Of course, keep pursuing your dream. Work hard on it. There's no more secrets in basketball. Anything you can watch or anything that other players can do, you can do also. Just practicing hard and practicing it the right way. Of course, don't forget to pray and then leave everything to God.
Thank you for coming, and hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Emily. Great interview. That's Emily Potter, our sideline reporter. I'm Joey Slattery alongside our color analyst, Dave Crook. The Calgary Surge opened up the quarter with a dunk, and it's a miss for Isaiah Osborne, a rare one here tonight for that young man. Here's a drive inside. Nice handoff and 2 points for Adeladune. That was Ball with the pass. So Calgary takes the lead early here. They were down at the quarter break. They're up 1. Osborne takes the pass, gets it down to the corner. No, he keeps it to himself. Here's Hildebrand for 3. No good. And Adeladune going to corral that one.
It's a tough one for Osborne. Because he hasn't been with the team. He has to pick up a lot of things. I know the sets that Winnipeg runs, and there's a lot of them, and it's real difficult. But he seems to be fitting in pretty well. As Coach Rainbow said in the interview about him, he's got a good head for the game, which is a big thing. And another guy coming in right now, Trey Scott, same thing. It's a tough situation for those guys because they haven't had a lot of reps in practice.
Follow us at CEB League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. Rebound corralled by Trey McGowans. And yeah, Isaiah Osborne, fans here remember him because a couple of seasons ago with the Edmonton Stingers, he hit a game-winning, a target score-winning shot. Because that shot is no good, and let the crowd know. He said if he can do it here, he's like, he'd be interested to see the difference. He said the volume will probably be the same, but it might just be a little bit more favorable if he does it here now.
Right. And, just making a hard work. And this is what he does. This is just a hustle play. He's going to draw the foul and just puts a shift in, gets the thing. And it's interesting because I think that they've called 2 fouls here in the second quarter. The first quarter, there's only 5 fouls. 2 of them were blocked charges. So referees are really letting the guys go tonight.
Yeah, Osborne, a very decorated Canadian player. He's been developed here from the grassroots to pros, as that is going to be a 3-point attempt on the foul. So 3 shots coming up for Trey McGowans. That foul is going to go against Brandon Muntu.
Yeah, McGowans just sort of drew the contact, initiated the contact, made a smart play. Muntu was in a bad, defensive position. Sort of got caught out, and it's an opportunity for McGowans to go to the line and give the Sea-Bears back the little lead here.
McGowans hasn't scored yet, so he'll make that count and get his first point of the game. Just to wrap up that thought with Isaiah Osborne, from Windsor, played at Carleton, was a U Sports Championship MVP, a 2-time national champion. He was the Rookie of the Year at Windsor when it was... or was it still CIA? No, it would have been U Sports at that point.
Yep.
And he's played all over the world. And this is a player that the Sea-Bears were very excited to have. He was one of the earliest signings, or at least intended signings. And took him a while to get here. He was playing in Romania. Now he's here, and he's ready for the stretch here as we're now on the second, nearing the halfway point of the season. Here's a pass inside. It's kicked around. Last touch by Winnipeg, so it'll be Calgary basketball.
Well, I think he's not Acott, but he's like Acott in the fact that he can score a little, he can handle a little, he can guard basically 4 positions. So he's a really valuable player from that point of view, and having 2 guys like that is an amazing thing.
Extra valuable tonight. Emmanuel Acott missing a 2nd straight game with a lower body injury. He's expected to be back sooner than initially expected, which is good. But it'll be a day-to-day decision as that one goes up, and had to come back down was Brown, and a travel on that. And that'll get the crowd going. Ruggsy Miller-Moore about to check into the game. He doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty good defensive play by Winnipeg, and they really collapsed on the ball, made it difficult on the inside for Brown.
And on another front, we should update that Kyler Filowich hasn't played yet, but he's back in the lineup after being in concussion protocol after taking a fall in Ottawa. Both those injuries were in Ottawa. It was a little scary for the Sea-Bears if they had enough Canadians on the bench here, as that one is no good. Going to be a foul on the play.
And again, Tillman using that little fake pass over the top. I think he throws it at least once a game and gets guys to bite. And again, Brown bit on that one, and then a little spin move underneath. Brown did a good job getting himself back into position, but Scott, nice cut off the ball, smart play, and Tillman hit him, gave him a chance to go to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, Tillman Jr. just a great post player. Can create. It's tough to guard him because you don't know what he's going to do with the ball because he's not just taking to the basket, but he can.
Yeah. But I mean, part of that is also his unselfish nature. I think it really leans into team basketball.
27-25, Winnipeg leads Calgary. Brown being guarded tightly by Tillman, and there's going to be a foul called here. And that's going to go against McGowan's.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for a little hold on the cut there. Yeah, it looks like he's got a little jersey tug on the inside, plus a hold on the arm.
So McGowan's picking up his first foul of the game as that shot is up no good. Simon Hildebrandt with a rebound over Brown. McGowan's going to slow it down just a little bit here. Find some space in the paint. Tries to go upstairs, but Brown, good defensive play. Here's Brown going the other way, and it's a two-hand slam for Brown.
Again, Calgary really doing a good job transitioning, pushing the ball, trying to get out. Brown running straight to the rim. Gets the easy dunk.
Winnipeg picking up the ball movement here on this offensive set. McGowan's calling for the screen. He'll get one from Scott. Gonna take it in. He's got two on him. Fade away, rolls it up, and he gets it to fall.
Nice finish by the big guard. Uses his body, stayed on balance, stayed in control. Makes a soft finish over the top.
It's a tight one. We're going back and forth. A 2-point lead again for the Sea Bears. Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Skip pass to Edgem. Puts up the three. Can't get it. Osborne going to chase it down, and Winnipeg will reset.
Been a run of like a game of short runs. Like no one's really put anything together. No one's been able to sort of dominate play on either end of the floor.
Here's McGowan's and a ton of traffic. Big block from Ruggsy Miller-Moore, and out come the Calgary Surge and Deladoon right into Simon Hildebrandt. And Hildebrandt draws the offensive foul. No basket.
Nice play by Hildebrandt. Held this position, took the contact. Obviously his feet were outside the circle. We'll get a better look at it here. He sets his mind, and yeah, nice play. Good finish on the inside, but it's all for naught. But it's been a strange game. It's got a weird flow. It almost feels like a game where neither team's played together, and there is some of that out there.
And we've got a timeout called here, so that's a break for us. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Welcome back to Canada Life Center. Winnipeg Sea Bears leading the Calgary Surge 29-27. Cal Tire is a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Dave Crook beside me, our color analyst. I'm Joey Slattery. Emily Potter, our sideline reporter here tonight. Dave, we're talking about Calgary and how close this game has been. I mean, this has been a friendly area for Calgary as of late. They swept the season series last year, including a win in that Western Conference final against the Sea Bears on the championship weekend finale, if you will. So they're hoping to see a little bit of that luck, but they're playing pretty well here overall, minus a few turnovers.
Yeah, it's interesting, because they had such a difficult start, but they played some good basketball, and they've put Winnipeg at jeopardy. And like I said, with Gilliard's on the go, the things are really going well. But then there's also been this bit of a sloppy edge to the game. But I think the sloppy edge has been both ways. Neither team has done enough to put an imprint on the game so far, in my view.
And we just saw a couple of sloppy plays going both sides. Ball went out of bounds. Calgary has it. Ruggsy Miller-Moore takes the handoff from Brown, going to work a pick and roll here. Gets the switch. He's on Tillman Jr. and he gets swatted by Tillman Jr. Simon Hildebrand corrals it, and out come the Sea-Bears. Kraus for three. No. Evan Gilliard, easy corral here, and now he'll dribble it up. Finds some space in the paint, puts up the floater, another 2 points.
But that's problematic for the Sea-Bears. I mean, Kraus throws they go in transition, they get an open three, air ball. Surge just fly down the court the other way, and the ball's in the basket in 4 or 5 seconds. That's not a great recipe for Winnipeg.
Gilliard leads all scorers with 9 points. Armani Chaney gonna pull up for three. That one's just off the mark. Another rebound here for Calgary. They've been dominating that here at their end as of late. Here's a pass inside. Nice finish by Brown, who wants the foul. It was Ruggsy Miller-Moore who got the assist.
Yeah,
going to be a timeout here for the
Smart
Winnipeg
play on the
Sea-Bears.
post up there. Brown on Chaney, easy. 2 points off the glass. We'll get a replay here. Ruggsy reads it, sees him, and just lets him, easy dish up. Nothing Chaney could do on the inside. Totally sealed off by Brown. But that whole play bothers me when Chaney's got Brown on the other end of the floor, matched up on the perimeter. Little guy against the big guy. So what does he do? Shoots the three instead of taking him off the dribble, which is what he probably should do where he has the advantage. In the end, they don't score. Calgary goes the other way. He gets posted up, finished on the inside. That's a bad possession on two sides for me.
Yeah, no kidding. And now Calgary, you mentioned it hasn't been a game of big runs. I mean, biggest scoring run, coming into the break was 9 for Winnipeg, 7 for Calgary. But there's not been any big swings in terms of stops and going on a run without the other team scoring. Calgary, playing really well here. And you said it, the new coach might be the boost. This is the second game under Dave DeViro. They've been watching a ton of film. That was the one thing I asked Dave DeViro. When you don't have practice time, how do you find a creative way to try and work forward? It's been a tough situation on DeViro to walk in. He comes out, just wins a historic gold medal with the U18 Team Canada at the FIBA World Championships, comes right into his head coach with Calgary being let go. He gets promoted to the interim status of head coach. You go into the first game just kind of hoping for the best, and has been watching film on the road and really trying to identify what they can do without practice. But, sometimes it's just that spiritual boost of getting a change like that. Message delivered. We let go of the coach. Now the onus is on you.
Yeah, part of the problem, too, is he can't really implement a lot of stuff, which is really, really difficult. So they're running things that he didn't teach, which is hard.
And again, without practice.
Right.
Just really, really tough, right? Having to make the most of the morning shoots, which are usually just made to get loose and warm up.
Yeah.
Calgary has to use it for some teaching, too.
And maybe they can walk through a few things here. We'll see a little replay. Ball gets poked away. Good hustle, but the Sea-Bears maintain possession.
Good hands from Patterson. Patterson went to Eastern Michigan University from Mississauga. Here's a three-point from Scott. He gets that one. So Winnipeg takes the lead again, 32-31.
Nice screener roll. Calgary, they're down on that screener roll. They have to make the switch in the end. Chaney gets it back to Scott for the easy three.
Winnipeg picking up the pressure defensively here. Gilliard well far back of the arc. Now he finds space going right at Scott. Has to pick up his dribble. He's stuck. Knocked away by Scott. Corralled by Gilliard. 2 on the shot clock. Gilliard not even close. That'll be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, like I said, this is an odd game. There's been lots of great plays. There's lots of hustle plays. There's been some good defense at times. Guys have made shots at times. But overall, neither team really been able to imprint how they want to play and what they want to do to their opponent.
Both teams have had players recently join their team, so it could just be a matter of chemistry. As Teddy Allen says, I got that inside. I'm not going to miss many.
No, nice finish by Teddy Allen on a little jump hook. Coming off that tight curl on the inside.
Miller-Moore gets Hildebrand to jump, and he will draw the foul. Hildebrand picking up a foul. That will be his first of tonight's game.
That's a tough matchup for him. Ruggsy Miller-Moore, a little more athletic, a little more explosive, obviously stronger, and then Hildebrand gets stuck into a position where he elevates first, he buys the fake, and there's one thing you try to teach players all the time is don't be the first one off your feet in that situation.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. And soon to coast. Game coming up in Whitehorse, so now we can say from coast to coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jersey now by visiting CEBL.ca. And Miller Moore gets the second one to go. It's 34-32 Winnipeg. 3 minutes, 31 seconds left in the second quarter. Simon Hildebrandt coming off here. We've got Tillman, Osborne, Scott, Krause, and Allen out here for the Sea Bears on offense. Working it around now to Osborne on the wing. Allen cutting through, gets it in the post, has the edge on his guy, gets it up, no good. Tillman gives a show for the fans, doesn't care.
Smart play, though. Again, Winnipeg getting Teddy Allen down on the block. That's 2 possessions in a row where he cut down on the inside, trying to get him a possession, get him a touch low. He makes a nice move, creates space, uses his body so well. He really understands where he is. He has a great court and self-awareness at all times.
Allen, that's his 7th point of the game. But as we've seen this season with Teddy Allen, he tends to pick up steam as the game goes on.
Yeah, and he just chips away. Again, he hasn't really done much tonight, but he's going to, he makes his free throw. He's got 8. He's going to end the half and probably have double digits. That's just what Teddy Allen does. He finds a way to, impact the score sheet when you don't think he's doing much. And then at the same time, he can have one of those games where he goes for 35 or 36.
And he's going to take a break here. McGowan's back into the game. Calgary has Brown, Gilliard, Patterson, Baugh, and Miller Moore on the floor. Brown with it now, handing it off to Patterson. Over to Miller Moore. He's going to work on Krause, draws the double team. Back out to Gilliard. Shot fake. Pulls up mid-range. And clanks that one. And unable to get the ball. It was Osborne who finally got it. It was a bit of confusion there for the Sea Bears, but here they are on the offensive end. Scott on Miller Moore. And Brown. Tough one there and really nowhere to go, but he's going to draw the foul. And Brown is shocked.
He's not happy, and neither is Coach DeVero on that one. Looked like there might have been some contact underneath on the arm. We'll get a better look at it here. Yeah, and it looked like he got him on the elbow. I think it was totally unintentional. I don't think he wanted to make any contact there, but it looked like he got the shooting elbow, and that's what the officials saw on that angle.
I think Trey Scott found a safety valve. I think he was basically, if I could score, great, but I think I could draw the foul and get out of this. And he misses that one.
It's 3 in a row he's missed from the line. I think he's in a bit of a hurry there. He needs to slow himself down a little bit.
And that's another miss. But Winnipeg corral the rebound. It's Tillman Jr. getting it to McGowans, who can't get the 3 to fall. Calgary down 4. 2:30 left in the second quarter. Here's Gilliard to Miller Moore. 14 on the shot clock, going to put up the 3. No good. Brown gets the rebound and goes back up and draws the foul. 2 points and a chance for a third.
Brown is just so big and so active and long, and he's a great rebounder, and he's got a motor. He just keeps going all the time. And a competitor. And I think he was really unhappy after getting that last call, and he just makes the hustle play there, gets a 3-point play. Winnipeg keeps subbing, keep going after Calgary. It'll be interesting to see here at the end of the quarter if any of that wear and tear has an impact on the Surge.
Brown from Toronto played his college basketball at Rhode Island, and he is also a scary dude under the basket at the defensive end. Talk about that length. He's had some highlight blocks this year. Calgary's last game came against the Saskatoon Mamba. They had the lead going into target time and ended up losing. And that's going to be a goaltend, so that basket will count for Teddy Allen.
He almost blocked that one. It was amazing. Like, the ball was in the air for a long time, but it just started to come down when he got a touch on it. Good call by the official, but Brown is long, and he can really, really fly.
Teddy leading all scorers with 10 points. Here's Gilliard going up to Patterson, who finishes that over the back of Scott. Less than 2 minutes to play now in the second quarter. Allen going to find his shot. He's not afraid to put it up, and he cans another 3. Teddy Allen starting to heat up here. He's got 13.
Got Calgary in a bad mismatch there on the switch. Brown away from the rim, gives Teddy Allen some space. He knocks down that 3 ball.
There's a floater from mid-range. Patterson, an awkward-looking shot, but it works.
But again, the intensity defensively for Winnipeg, wow.
Teddy, a little bit of a heat check there. That was a long three. Krause now trying to get the outside edge on Miller Moore, who takes it all the way in for two. All tied at 41. Minute 15 left in the second quarter. Here's Krause. Skip pass to Scott. Quick pass over to Osborne for a long three. Just short. Knocked away by Scott. No one there on the weak side 45. It goes out of bounds, and Calgary will get the possession as Nate Balamu checks in for Winnipeg.
Just a weird vibe. This game is just odd. Like neither team, they just can't find a way to make things happen.
Coming up at the half, dreams start here. An introduction to CBears Foundation. Emily Potter is going to interview visiting Surge head coach Dave DeViro, and the first half stats and Dave's players to watch will be reviewed to see how these players are doing as a timeout is called here with 1:06 left in the second quarter. And Dave, you're absolutely right. I mean, this has been it's not been a terrible game, but we've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen spurts of some great plays, some great teamwork, some great ball movement. We've seen some careless turnovers. We've seen a little bit of everything.
Is this the quietest crowd you've ever seen in Winnipeg?
Which is crazy because it's Filipino Heritage Night. So.
But I think part of it is that they're waiting for something to happen. I think they're on edge, and I think there's been times when it's ready to go off, but it just hasn't happened. There's been nothing to get them up on their feet, get them going, and I think that also, explains part of the feel in the building.
Well, looking at the stats here, Winnipeg has 10 bench points. Calgary really relying on their starters, only 2 from Calgary's bench. But overall, 8 points from turnovers for Winnipeg. Calgary's got 5 points in the paint, 26-24. Calgary leads that. So it's been very even fast break points. 8 for Calgary, 7 for Winnipeg. It's just been a very even game, but it almost seems like, how we say you want them to get to play in your game. It seems like even if it's not your game, whatever that team does, the other team's going to follow. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a sloppy play, we're seeing another sloppy play at the other end. Then we see a nice highlight play, and then we see a score at the other end. But there tends to be this sense of, kind of following the atmosphere that's being provided by the game.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how it progresses and whether one of these teams can just step up and dominate, or whether it's going to be a back and forth all night long.
1 minute left here in the first half on Filipino Heritage Night in Winnipeg. 41-41 is your score, and Evan Gilliard can't get Calgary the lead. The rebound taken down by Jeremiah Tillman Jr. McGowan's getting things started on offense. Tries to drive. He's cut off at the baseline. Now he finds himself in the corner. 10 on the shot clock. Pass out to the wing over to Osborne. Osborne going right into Patterson. Knocked off balance. Gets back for the three, and he cans it. Winnipeg leads by 3. 25 seconds left in the first or second quarter.
That got a little bit of umph out of the crowd.
And the crowd into it now. Here's Evan Gilliard trying to find the response. Calgary down 3. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 13 on the game clock. Gilliard goes right down Main Street, tries to get it up to Brown, but it's knocked away by Tillman Jr., but a foul on the play.
And I think even though that Gilliard was looking to make a pass, I think they're going to put him on the line to shoot too. We're going to get an opportunity to see it there. There's contact. He comes across, and he was throwing the alley-oop. Tillman blocked it, but then followed through into him, and I think the referees are going to say it looked like it was a shot. It was going towards the rim, so he's going to get an opportunity to shoot a couple free throws.
So Tillman Jr. coming off, as is Nate Balamu, Armani Chaney, and Teddy Allen for these last 9 seconds. So 2 shots coming up here for Evan Gilliard.
And it could be, again, a 1-point game if he's good at the line. Crowd now starting to feel a little bit. Gilliard, no impact at all, just knocks that down. Veteran play.
2-point ball game. He can pull it to within 1. Going to be a substitution here. Swanton Roger going to be in here for Brown if the shot goes in. And Calgary will get their sub.
Yeah, I think that's just a situation where they don't want Brown to pick up a cheap foul here at the end of the half.
Javonte Brown has 11 points in this one. and 7 rebounds in the first half. Here's Armani Chaney, 5 on the clock. Chaney has space, goes right into his defender, does not get the friendly bounce, and Calgary does not have enough time to get the shot off. So Winnipeg going to take a 1-point lead to the break, 44-43 in what's been a bit of a helter-skelter game here, Dave.
Yeah, just like I said, an odd feel. We felt that way all game long. It'll be interesting to see how the two teams come out of the locker room to start the second half.
Will be interesting here. Emily Potter standing by. Dave DeViro will be the interview in just a second. But yeah, it's been back and forth. It's been a fun game to watch, but we've seen a little bit of everything. And now we've got, sorry, not Dave DeViro. We have Emily Potter standing by with Isaiah Osborne. Emily.
Isaiah, you kind of stuffed the stat sheet with a little bit of everything, 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. Talk about that energy you brought. Like, as soon as you're on the court, it was evident.
I mean, coming in late, the guys are already with each other. I'm just trying to go out there and give the best I got, try the hardest I got, and, try to pick up on the defensive end.
It seemed like a few times you guys were ready to kind of extend that lead. What do you need to do to get over that hump and kind of be able to do that in the second half?
I mean, we had some good shots, but transition defense, just defense in general, not boxing out, not getting back transition defense, that's the main thing.
All right, best of luck in the second half, guys.
All right, thank you, Emily. That was Emily Potter with Isaiah Osborne, who has 8 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, shooting 50% from the field in just more than 16 minutes and 45 seconds of playing time. And that's a big reason why the Sea-Bears have a 44-43 lead heading into the break. Stay with us. We will have second half action after our halftime show. Enjoy it. We'll be back.
The Winnipeg Sea-Bears Foundation is a new charitable initiative, and we're dedicated to removing barriers financially and otherwise to help more kids get involved in the game of basketball.
Our overarching mantra is that as a business, we want to do well so that we can do good in the community. We've had a great start, and the creation of the foundation now gets us to elevate and go even further.
Our main initiative is we're going to be dedicated to improving the health and well-being of Manitoba youth and really removing barriers to sport and investing in public basketball spaces all across the province.
Hello, my name is Justin Lee. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Buckets and Borders.
Buckets and Borders is a nonprofit organization that uses basketball as a means to improve communities and bring people together. We have an exciting announcement that we're going to be proceeding with additional courts this summer right here in Winnipeg, as well as Killarney, Manitoba. This is important for both Buckets and Borders and the Winnipeg Sea-Bears because we really want to showcase that the Winnipeg Sea-Bears are not just Winnipeg's team, but they're the team of Manitoba.
Partnership with Buckets and Borders has been outstanding, and it's what's going to allow us to expand outside the perimeter highway and across Manitoba. And just like the bear is emblematic of the entire province, we want our organization to reach into all parts of Manitoba, and we'll do that with Buckets and Borders in a great way. I'm very confident of that.
Buckets and Borders is just incredibly proud to be a partner of the Winnipeg Sea-Bears and to be here in Manitoba. We've got a lot of love for the prairies. That's where we started, and we want to grow more here. We want to build more courts. We want to build more culture, and we're just grateful to be a part of this incredible community in Manitoba.
Following a busy off-season that saw the Sea-Bears add a new head coach and 2 former MVPs, one thing has stayed the same: Manitoba's impact on Sea-Bears basketball. Led by hometown talent, fans have a team they can truly connect with.
What does it mean to play in Winnipeg? I mean, you grew up here, you've got your friends, your family here. How does it feel to be back on the floor wearing the teal again?
Feels great to be back. It's always good to be back home and be in Winnipeg. The fact that for the other guys, this is probably one of the most special places you can play. Being a hometown guy and being able to do this in Winnipeg, where I'm from, is just exponentially better. I don't have words to explain how fortunate I am.
Being able to play at a high level, around friends and family,
and a lot of other just great people in the Winnipeg community. It's something that's I'm super proud of, I'm super thankful for, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this summer.
We know we have the great fan base here. We just want to make the fans proud, put on for the city, and it obviously hurts losing games, so this year is really important to win games.
How do you think it's changed when it comes to young players being able to come to these camps and work with professional athletes that, they can see themselves in? And now you've got, a generation of younger, basketball players looking up to you.
I'm happy to see that the CEBL has kind of showed the rest of Canada that, Winnipeg is a strong, and Manitoba as a whole, are a strong basketball community.
Yeah, it means everything. I'm talking to kids, I go to the YMCA and everyone's just excited because I'm a Sea Bear. They say they want to be a Sea Bear one day, so I know we're making a big impact on the community.
Everybody wants to win a championship. What would it mean to you to win a championship at home?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Like I said, I'm a super competitive person, so I always want to win, but like you said, especially for the hometown team, it would be a super cool experience, so I'm hoping we can do what it takes to get it done.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. It is halftime. Winnipeg leading 44-43. We've got a game and we've seen a little bit of everything. 4 players between the two teams in double-digit scoring. Teddy Allen leading all scorers with 15 points as we take a look now at some of those highlights from the first half. And Dave, as we mentioned, you talked about it throughout the broadcast, but it's been a little bit of up and down at both ends. We tend to see some good plays on one end happen at the other end, but same thing when there's a bad sloppy play. It tends to happen at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, there's been nothing really consistent, except for the fact that they're consistently almost matching each other on every possession.
Consistently inconsistent.
It's funny that we talked about it earlier that Teddy Allen, wasn't having an amazing game, but again, he's got 15 at the half. That guy just finds a way, to put things on the stat sheet. It's unreal.
There's another one from Teddy as he was drawing that foul. But yeah, great start from Teddy. Was a little bit slow, but as the game went on, as we mentioned, that tends to happen with Teddy Allen. He starts to get going as the game goes on.
He just finds a way to score. That's what he is. He's a professional scorer. And as we've alluded to, he does more in his game, and his package has become more complete, but he is a professional scorer.
Yeah, well, speaking of stats, let's take a look at the halftime stats because it has been a pretty even matchup. As you take a look at the field goal percentage, 1% between the two. 45% for Calgary, 44% for Winnipeg. Free throw percentage, again, 1%. All on the edge of Calgary. They've got the slight edge in these, but they're down 1 point. Same with free throws, 6 for 7 for Calgary, 5 for 9, and I think Trey Scott had all the misses for Winnipeg. And assists, Calgary, 9 assists, Winnipeg's 8, and 26 rebounds. That was one thing we noticed as the game went on, yes. Dave. The rebounding was really starting to inch towards Calgary, which when you look at the stats, it is a little bit surprising that Winnipeg's walking out of that first half with the lead.
Yeah, I guess they've been a little more efficient at times, and they've had a couple little bigger runs than Calgary, and that maybe is enough to give them just that little bit of lead. But I think, Miller Moore early did a great job in the glass. Brown in the second half did an outstanding job in the glass. Winnipeg's played a little bit smaller, and that I think also has helped the surge a little bit on that end.
Yeah, and 6 of those rebounds for Calgary are at the offensive end. Only 3 offensive boards for Winnipeg. Stay with us. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back to revisit our players to watch and get back into second half action.
Let's have some fun.
Whether it's on the ice or on our app, always play for the fun of the game. Gamble responsibly with Play Alberta.
We want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling sites instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
You gotta love a Canadian boost.
Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
RedTag.ca.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Center. The Winnipeg CEBLs back on the floor here getting ready for the second half. Serge will be joining shortly, and Emily Potter will be joined by Surge head coach Dave DeViro very shortly. But first, Dave, why don't we take a revisit our players to watch here after the first quarter. 10 points for Ruggsy Miller-Morris expected. A little bit slower start here for Simon Hildebrandt with just 2.
Yeah, he really didn't have the impact that they were hoping for. I think the Canadian impact for the CEBLs has been Isaiah Osborne. I think he's got 8. And he's been a little more dynamic. He's done a few more things. Hildebrandt logged about 11 minutes probably in his first half. Did an okay job, but really didn't do anything outstanding. Ruggsy, on the other hand, just sort of does what he does, right? Got some rebounds early, got the Surge moving in transition, made some plays, has 10 points on, of course, probably for 20, which is sort of a typical night for him in this building.
Yeah, Javonte Brown has 11 points, as does Evan Gilliard, to Ruggsy Miller-Morris, 10 points. Evan Gilliard, 4th in scoring here in the CEBL. Team has not been producing wins, but he's been playing really well with 24.3 points per game. So Evan Gilliard kind of right in line with that right now with 11 points.
Yeah, he's a tough guard. He's tough off the dribble. He logs a lot of minutes. He's amazing in the screen and roll game. He's little, he's quick, he handles the ball real well, and he's a pretty good shooter. Does a lot of good things.
As the Calgary Surge now on the floor, and Dave DeViro hopefully will be joining Emily Potter soon. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, no, Evan Gilliard too, it's his size, right? I mean, it's so funny because the small guards in this league, we tend to think of basketball players, some of the best players being big and strong, and some of the best players in this league are some of the smaller ones, right? Evan Gilliard just uses it to his advantage, kind of like a Tavian Dunn-Martin.
Yeah, they're dynamic, and they really put people in jeopardy with their quickness, which is, a tough thing to deal with.
All right, we have head coach of the Calgary Surge, Dave DeViro, joining Emily Potter. Emily.
Okay, Coach, you guys won the rebounding battle, won the assist. Is there anything else that you relay to your team to continue to do in the second half?
Try to win the turnover battle a little bit, too. Make a few more threes. I thought our guys did a really good job competing. We're trying some new things out there, and they're really doing a great job adjusting to what we want to do. So really pleased with the way we played in that first half.
Okay, great. And if anything, how do you slow down Teddy? Seems to be the only one that kind of is hurting you.
If you can figure that out, I want you to tell me. But no, Teddy's a great player, great offensive player. We just got to try to make every possession a really tough one for him, make him earn it. But this is what Teddy does. He gets buckets.
All right, thanks, Ghost. Best of luck, guys.
All right, thanks, Emily and Dave. I think if anybody could actually give you a tip, it might be Emily Potter, member of our national team and a longtime pro here from Winnipeg. But no, the turnover battle is big. I mean, that is one area where they've been hurting. 9 turnovers in that first half to Winnipeg's 4, and Winnipeg has done a good job in making them pay. Yeah, and part of that's been Winnipeg's team defense at times, and they haven't done it consistently like we've seen them do it earlier in the season. But when they made their one big run, they were active defensively. They shot some gaps. They got some steals. They got out in transition, made some things happen. Well, I'm curious to see now who's going to come out of the gate. Or Calgary, rather, was down coming into the second quarter, and they got on a quick 5-0 run. Is a team going to come out here and establish that run early? And how important is that as a coach, right? I mean, are you coming out here saying, hey, listen, we've been going a lot of back and forth. We need to get some stops and turn them into points at the other end. All you ever talk about is first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes, right? That's when you really need to perform, because that's when the game often is won and lost. If you can make things happen then. We haven't seen a pattern of anybody coming out and doing that so far. It'll be interesting to see how they come out for the second half. Yeah, we've seen a array of players coming out for Winnipeg. A lot of players getting some play. I mean, the only ones that haven't played are Kyler Filowich and Ramogi Naguti, and everybody's almost in double digits. I mean, outside of Nathan Balamu and Armani Chaney, everybody that saw the floor has played at least 10 minutes, and Mason Krause, who played 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Heavy minutes for the starters with Calgary, as mentioned. When it comes to bench points, it's a big sort of looking for advantage for Winnipeg. I think it's one. And that's what Winnipeg is hopefully trying to do, I think, in their mind, right? Let's tire them out. Let's wear them down. Let's just keep throwing bodies at them, and hopefully something good will come from it. And, hopefully for the CEBLs it will. And a Surge, on the other hand, they just got to keep trying to go in transition, try to get into that screen and roll game and get some penetration and put Winnipeg at jeopardy. And the depth we're seeing, it sounds weird to say with Winnipeg, but this is the advantage of what they have, right? This is a team that has a couple of injuries. Manuel Acott out, as mentioned earlier, with a lower body injury, should be back soon. Kyler Filowich, they're going to take their time with him too. I mean, he took a pretty hard knock to the head in Ottawa last week, so they're going to, take their time. But listen, DJ Burns got here, and they're trying to ease him, and he got here yesterday. So he's here in the building, but he hasn't been in the lineup. Xavier Moon is coming next week. So, you look at this team starting to look full with Isaiah Osborne here as well. I mean, once everybody's healthy, this is a dangerous team. And I think Isaiah Osborne is a big piece, right? Because I think he's a guy they were counting on right from the very start, and they finally got him here. And I think we're going to see him and his role build week to week to week. And the third quarter underway. It's Winnipeg with the first possession of the ball game. Or of the quarter, I should say. Here is Teddy Allen. Nice move inside. Can't get it to fall, but he's able to slow his way in there. Here's Miller Moore now. Going the other way in transition. He's going to draw the foul on Trey McGowan's. And again, it's a run out, right? Calgary, Winnipeg misses a shot. Calgary gets it out in a hurry. Winnipeg doesn't get back. They're in a bad position defensively. And in the end, Miller Moore draws the foul, goes to the line to shoot a pair. Miller Moore, 10 points on the night. He's the player to watch here. CEBL veteran, has been with this team since it moved to Calgary, even played while it was in Guelph. And he's on his way to another 20-point performance, something he seems to do in this building all the time. I was looking at the stats, and Miller Moore averages about 5 points a game more playing in this building than he does anywhere else in the CEBL. Well, and you talk to any player here, Dave. That's the one thing, coaches, that is one thing. It's a home advantage for the CEBLs, surely. I mean, when you're averaging, 6,000 fans a game, and it's a pretty, active crowd. But with that, you got this NBA atmosphere here. Players want to bring their best, and we often do see the opposition, their top players, playing their best games, and Ruggsy Miller Moore has been no exception in this building. Yeah, and I think some guys like Ruggsy like that hostile crowd and like to play to the fans. That shot missed by Osborne, but the rebound was corralled by Tillman Jr., and now it's Hildebrand with it. Working on Patterson in the post. Goes over top, can't get the ball to fall. Fight for the rebound ensues. It's going to be a foul on the play, and this one will be going against Javonte Brown. This Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. An all-Western matchup. This is a matchup that saw Calgary take it last year, a sweep in the season series, including that West Final during championship weekend. That is the last time they won a basketball game. 0-8 to start this season. They've lost their last 9 if you include the championship to Niagara. Different looking team this year without Greg Brown III and Jameer Nelson Jr., who's set to join Brampton as Allen puts up an air ball. But Calgary really trying to find their identity this year. They made no secret about it. Head coach Dave DeViro's made no secret about it, as that'll help. The identity right now is feed it to Ruggsy.
Ruggsy, that's what he does. He comes to this building and he plays, and he's doing it again. I think, like I said to you, 4.5 points a game higher against the Seabears than any other team in the league.
And just like that, Calgary on a 4-0 run and have a 3-point lead. Winnipeg looking for their first field goal of the half, and there it is. Jeremiah Tillman Jr.
Did a lot of work, wanted the call, talked to the official in transition, didn't get it, but again, he was patient, and when he's patient, takes his time, he's really difficult to stop on the block.
Back to a 1-point ball game. Hildebrandt knocks that pass, but Miller Moore able to regain it. Goes into Hildebrandt, can't get that shot anywhere near the rim, and here comes Teddy Allen now. And they're going to call the offensive foul on Allen.
Fans aren't happy about that. It looked like Teddy came out almost in a 1-on-3 situation. Gillard tried to get in on him, and Teddy's going to get that free arm, and you saw a little push there and knocked him off balance. I think of that if Gilliard's a little bigger there, he might not get knocked as far away, but in the end, that was a tough call.
And one of the things that you notice there is it didn't look like Gilliard was selling, right?
No,
He was just pointing over to the ref as it happened. But to Teddy's credit too, he takes the foul, he just goes back the other way and plays defense. Like those are those maturity things that we're seeing with him. As that's a 3-pointer put in by Addy Patterson.
Winnipeg has to be cautious right now. Calgary has the feel that they could make something happen.
Here's Hildebrandt for 3, and he cans that one. Ruggsy Miller-Moore letting his team know that was on him.
Just like that, the game tilts back the other way.
As it has been all game. Here's Gilliard putting up a bit of a weird one, but he's going to draw the foul in the process, so he'll go to the line for 2. That one's going to go against Trey McGowan's.
That's just a veteran.
Has 3 fouls.
That's a veteran play there. Like again, he got McGowan's in a tough position. He was a little bit off balance. He leans into him, draws the contact, and then just throws something up. And he's just looking for the foul, but that's a smart veteran play.
Trey McGowan's trying to discuss that one with referee Reed Kenyon.
Players are not happy often, and that happens. It's a fact, just like coaches are unhappy. But referees do a job. It's difficult, and they get it done. And 99% of the time, they're right.
Well, even McGowan's when he, going up to it, just asking for the explanation there too, right? And that's, a heads-up play from a veteran player too, right? What did I do? And ensure that you're getting the accountability and consistency with the players making, or the referees rather, making the call.
And if you're not, just all over them, they'll talk to you and they'll listen and they'll give you an explanation.
And Gilliard silences the crowd with that one. Calgary up 3 again. But that's about as big of leads as we've seen this game. Biggest lead has been 6 points. Calgary, much earlier in this game when it was 21-15, and there's going to be an offensive foul called against Mason Krause.
Yeah, it's a little bit of weave action here on the inside. Winnipeg gets the ball to Tillman. Tillman hands it off, and Krause just steps in. A great play by Gilliard. He steps up, takes a charge.
Gilliard's been active defensively. He's drawn a couple of offensive fouls now this quarter alone, and we're only 3 minutes into it. Here's Gilliard, speaking of, puts it up, no good. Knocked away by Tillman, and here comes Armani Chaney down the wing. He's got numbers. He's going to take it himself inside on Patterson, and he gets that to fall. No foul called.
And he's looking for the same type of call. He initiates a little contact, tries to, hopefully looking for that 3-point play, doesn't get the whistle.
Here's a mid-range jump shot from the corner, no good. And now comes Armani Chaney again. He's got his motor going high off the glass, cannot get that one to fall. And Javonte Brown going to get the rebound for Calgary. Baugh gets it off to Miller Moore, and now he has it in the corner. Steps up on Krause, and he gets that one to fall.
Nice shot, a little bit more patient there from the Surge. Took their time. They've been forcing the play a little bit, and that time they just did a little bit more patience. Got the ball to the bottom of the corner. He knocks down the triple.
Allen going to try his luck for 3, and he cans that one. Teddy Allen heating up. Watch out.
Just like we're seeing all night. One team does something, the other team responds.
Teddy's got 18 points already. We're not even at the halfway point of the third quarter. Now he's putting pressure on Gilliard. And going to be a foul on that one as the pass was knocked away. Armani Cheney not happy with the call.
I think it's going to be 2 shots for Ruggsy.
Taking a look at the replay here. So just got a hand, just a tough one. He's making a play on the ball, but looks to make contact.
On the drive in, and the ball goes flying up, but they're going to call it a shooting foul and put him on the line with a pick.
So Ruggsy Miller-Moore back to the line. And gets that one to go.
He's got 14, I think.
That's 6 for 7 from the line here tonight. I think that's 7 for 8. So a good show here from Ruggsy Miller-Moore, who's finding different ways to score. He's got 15, rather 15 now. Double check that. 16 points for Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Here's Isaiah Osborne for 3. No good. Mason Krause with the rebound. Cheney getting things back under control with 9 on the shot clock for Winnipeg. He's going to pull up for 3. No good. And Baugh going to corral that rebound. Ruggsy Miller-Moore on Trey Scott. Here's a pass inside, knocked away by Osborne, and here comes Teddy Allen. They've got numbers. Krause tries to find Scott, and it's saved by Miller-Moore, but it goes right to Osborne, who gets it to Allen for 3. No good. And now this pace picking up. Here's Ruggsy Miller-Moore, not able to catch that pass. Baugh just gives him the pass a little behind. So again, the speed picks up, but the polish isn't there in this one.
Yeah, it's just been one of those nights, right? Things are happening both ways, neither team finding a way to put their imprint to make this their game.
And we've got a timeout called here by Calgary. We'll take a quick break. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus. Winnipeg trailing Calgary 57-54. Catch all the exciting basketball from here at the Canada Life Center in downtown Winnipeg as part of CBears Summer. Pick up your tickets by visiting cbears.ca/tickets or scan that pretty little QR code on your screen. I'm Joey Slattery alongside Dave Crook. The Calgary Surge nursing a 3-point lead here. It's 57-54, and we are now past the halfway point of the third quarter. Much of the same as we saw in that first half, Dave. In the second half here, looks like this is going to be a slog to the end.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. One thing I was going to notice is that Isaiah Osborne, who's playing his first game with the CEBLs, has logged more minutes than anyone else in this game tonight, which is an odd thing as Teddy goes in and draws a 3-point play. But it's not often you see a situation where a guy hasn't spent any time with the team and he's now played more than anybody else. But it just showed you the type of value he brings to the game. The other thing right now for Coach Rainbow, I think, is that especially Winnipeg is playing with a really small lineup.
Yeah.
But they also have Scott and Osborne playing together, 2 guys who haven't been there. So it'll be interesting to see how things flow with this team. At the same time, they're also playing with Krause and Cheney, 2-point guards, so they can handle the ball and maybe make things a little bit easier for those guys to execute, along with Teddy.
Yeah, and Osborne, I mean, multifaceted there too, right? Throw him in the fire, see what he can do. It's not like he's out of shape. He just finished his season in Romania and had a little bit of a break to kind of recoup here. And he's got some familiarity. You know, he played with Alex Campbell at Windsor. Knows him really well, the assistant coach of the Sea Bears. And I believe he played with McGowan's in Edmonton too. So he's very familiar with the CEBL as Gilliard lets the fans know what he just did. That's put it in 2 points. Then on the shot clock, Cheney to Scott, and he's just going to lay that in wide open down Main Street.
You don't have to know a lot about the offense on that kind of play. You just slide down to the rim with no Surge player in the vicinity.
Here's Gilliard, shot fake, gets it inside. Here's a chance now, no good. And that shot was from Swanton Roger. Cheney keeping the pace up. Pass to Scott. Scott gets his defender to jump, puts up the shot. Another 2 points for Scott. He wants the foul, not going to get it, but the Winnipeg Sea Bears now have a 61-59 lead, so the back and forth game continues. Patterson with Allen on him, going to get it over to the wing. Gilliard now. Pass inside, knocked around, and eventually out of bounds. It will be Calgary basketball. McGowan's going to check back in with Tillman Jr. for Winnipeg, and Brown coming in for Calgary as we take a look at this replay.
See, Gilliard gets deep, makes a pass underneath. Big man, Swanton Roger just can't get a handle on a tough one there. He said, my bad on the inside, and at the same time, Brown comes off the bench to take his minutes.
1 second on the shot clock. Brown has to get it up, and he can't do it on time. No one knew how much time was on there. And here DeViro getting a little fired up that his team didn't see what was happening on the shot clock.
Yeah, they need to communicate that to make sure they know what's going on. That's a bad turnover.
Winnipeg with a chance to extend this lead. Lead extension's hard to come by in this one. Tillman Jr. gets it inside. Trey Scott going to get it right back to Tillman Jr. He's got a 3 this year already, but he's going to pass it up to Krause. Krause, baseline. Gets it out to McGowan, steps inside the three-point line and gets that to fall. 63-59, enough, says Dave DeViro, who's going to give an earful here to his players as they go to the bench.
Yeah, he's not happy. We see in the replay Krause on the dribble penetration. Calgary has to collapse, and they have to close out to get it to close out basketball, and things become difficult. And that's what you want. That's the advantage. That's one of the things that Calgary did to Winnipeg early. They got the ball into the paint. Winnipeg had to start playing that closeout game, and then there's nothing good going to happen for a defensive team, in that situation.
Seeing Dave DeViro giving an earful there to his players, probably back to high school. Fun fact, grew up in Northern Ontario and used to come up to our basketball camps. And I remember when I joined the CEBL and I saw Dave DeViro was head coaching, I remember thinking like, oh man, real nervous to interview him, man. I hope he doesn't yell at me. One of the nicest guys in the CEBL, but every time I see that, it takes me right back to the high school gym where we worked extra hard when Dave DeViro was in town.
Second fun fact to me, what? I recruited Dave DeViro when he was in high school.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
Way back.
He was a pretty good player, let me tell you.
Listening to the radio calls. I don't know, was TV around? Just kidding.
No,
just
there was
kidding.
no TV then. But yeah, no, I recruited David when he played high school in George Harvey. He was a heck of a player. Then he ended up at University of Ottawa playing for John Restivo.
And he's a heck of a coach, as mentioned earlier. Gold medal with Team Canada's U18 team at the FIBA Worlds and an OUA champion with Toronto Metropolitan University.
He's just a grinder. He just grinds and grinds.
He loves it.
He's always in the gym. He's always doing something.
Yeah, asked him today. I'm like, do you ever get tired? He's like, no, I'm in the gym. I love it. Your seat is waiting for you to catch every single game live from the Winsport Event Center. Get your tickets at calgarysurge.ca/tickets or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Winnipeg corralling that Calgary miss.
Surge going after Mason Krause the last couple possessions. Mason did a pretty good job defensively that time against Miller Moore on the switch.
Up to the task so far. Less than 2:30 to play here. Here's Osborne, puts the shot up, and he gets that to fall. Isaiah Osborne having a nice night here tonight. 10 points in his Sea Bears debut. Here's Miller Moore now. Has some space down the middle, going to go up. And they're going to call a blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
That's a tough one. That's one of those plays where both sides want, one Winnipeg, no call. We'll see it here on the replay. Miller goes down the middle. McGovern comes across, got out of his way. Ooh, that was a tough one. You can see why Winnipeg was unhappy. But
and when you say Winnipeg, the entire city, if you can't hear it through our...
we have the benefit of slow motion instant replay at a different angle than the officials do on the floor. And, much tougher. Easy to be me, hard to be them.
Totally. And Miller misses the first shot.
And the fans will be saying, the ball never lies. Right?
Ball don't lie.
Yep. They were quite angry, to be honest. The crowd. Maybe this is really going to get the crowd flowing a little bit here for Winnipeg.
And he gets the second one to fall. That'll bring in some substitutions. Or at least one substitution. Patterson checking back into the game, and Edgem for Calgary.
So interesting to see what the Seabirds try to do now. They're going to play with Trayvon Scott as an undersized 4 again, but I think he's very effective, very good in that role. Quite an athlete. So, and they're staying with the 2-guard front with Krause and Cheney. Calgary looks like they're in a little maybe 3-2 zone. They're coming out of that timeout. No, they're matched up.
Here the ball being worked around. Krause gets it back out to Cheney. He'll slide that over to Scott. He goes right at the rack. Can't get it to fall. And Brown with a strong rebound for Calgary.
Great grab on the inside by Brown. He was challenged by both Tillman and Scott. He went up and grabbed that one.
Here's Gilliard. Steps back over Scott. No good. And Cheney going to grab that. Cheney will get picked up here by Moontooth. Now he weaves his way into the middle. Osborne. Oh, the invisible man moving like an apparition through the key for that one.
Ooh, nice finish there by Osborne. But again, Winnipeg got Calgary in a little bit of a switching situation. Gets a bad rotation, and they end up with an easy hoop.
Gilliard steps back. Quick shot. 10 on the shot clock still. No good. Cheney going to get the rebound. That was Olu Adeladun with the shot. Here's Cheney going right down Main Street. Tillman Jr. going to spot up for 3. No luck on that one. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. 67-60 is your score. Winnipeg leads. Ball knocked loose from Gilliard. Calgary saves it. Here's a shot from Edgem for 3. No good. And Calgary, or Winnipeg rather, going to corral that rebound. Here's Cheney going to slow it down for Winnipeg. 25 seconds on the game clock, 16 on the shot clock. Cheney has Adeladun way out. 7 seconds. Here goes Cheney inside. Skip to the corner. Osborne bobbles it. Still gets the shot off. No good, but a foul on the play. And he will go to the line to shoot 3.
Nice execution there by Winnipeg. Cheney really used the clock to his advantage. Brought Tillman out, set the screen, came off it hard, got the switch. Calgary again in a bad position. Throw the ball cross court to the corner to Osborne. Great closeout, but Edgem was just a little bit late, a little sloppy, and Osborne's going to the line to shoot 3.
A chance to build this lead to 10 points with 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
This would be huge for Winnipeg if they can make the 3 and then get a stop to, get a double-digit lead for the first time in the whole game as we head into the fourth quarter. Really big for the hometown team.
Gets the first one. And this is just automatic at this point.
Boy, he shoots the ball. I don't think there's any way he's going to miss.
And he hits all 3. Osborne with 15 points. Calgary with 8 seconds. Here's Moontooth. Just going right at the rack into 3 defenders, and he gets it to fall. Winnipeg not going to have enough time to get a shot off. Cheney couldn't get it loaded on time. So they do cut the lead. It was a 10-point deficit. It looked like that might be it going into the break, but with that 2 points, it's an 8-point lead for Winnipeg. We'll take a quick break and be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching CEBL live on CBC Gem, CBC Sports YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team's score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91-80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Welcome back to Winnipeg. Winnipeg leading 70-62. Time now for our Cruise of the Game presented by Cal Tire, and it's who else but Teddy Allen who leads all scorers with 21 points here this evening as Winnipeg looking to go 3-0 this season at home. They had a long road stretch, as mentioned earlier, to start the season. They had their first 6 of their first 8 games on the road. The 2 games at home were wins. They've split the road games, so this is a big one here for Winnipeg, but a bigger one really for Calgary, who really wants to dig into this lead because they are running out of time early, as they say, as they're trying to get that first win.
But a great play by Brandon Mutu at the end of the half. He went coast to coast. Winnipeg unhappy, went in, finished, got to 8, and now Calgary starts with the ball again. So they got an opportunity, to really edge this one down.
Here's a shot from Adeladou, no good. There's Mutu with the rebound, has it swatted by Cheney. Cheney speeding out of the gate. And here Winnipeg going to get into their offensive set. Tillman with it on the wing, has the ball knocked away by Mutu. He's doing everything he can to get this team back into it. He puts it up, no good. It's blocked, but there's Javonte Brown there to clean it up.
Not the cleanest play of all time, but almost saw Brown dunk it on his tiptoes, I believe.
Here's Cheney's trying for 3, no good. And here's a chance for Calgary to go on a run to open the fourth. Here's Mutu, puts up the 3, that's clanked. Edgem going to chase it down here. So again, Calgary dominating the boards. Baugh can't get it to go. He has it knocked away. Teddy Allen going to pick it up. Allen passed it into the corner. Cheney going to get it out to a safety valve. That's Tillman Jr., but bit of a tough play. He couldn't get to the ball. It's going to be a foul against Tillman Jr., his 3rd.
The first, and we'll see it here, this game has become so scrambly for the first minute of the fourth quarter. We thought, whacking pretty good. We thought that, like we talked about, the first 5, the second, teams got to come out and play. Well, neither team's come out and playing really well right now. They've all had opportunities, but they can't seem to capitalize.
And we find ourselves in a 6-point ball game. The biggest lead has been 10. And Winnipeg has had that lead. Mutu. Adeladou going to try his luck inside. A reverse one through 2 defenders. Does not fall. Armani Cheney again on the run. Feeds Osborne, who's going to lay in 2.
I wonder how long we'll see Calgary without Miller, Moore, and Gilliard on the floor. I would suspect they'll both be coming in pretty quick.
Yeah, probably getting a breather here to try and make one last drive. Here's Edgem for 3. No good. Cheney with another rebound. Long lead pass to Krause, but it's too far. Mutu going to pick that up and settle things down for Calgary. Adeladou spots up for 3 off the handoff. No good. Edgem with the rebound, goes back up, and he'll put in 2. Nice strong rebound from Edgem.
Nice play on the inside. He was under control, took his time, patient, put it in up off the glass. Gets Calgary back into a 6-point game.
And we talk about the road woes. Calgary played their first 5 games, or 5 of their 8 on the road as well. So they don't have a lot of home cooking either here. They're back on the road. Next game for both these teams is against these teams in Calgary on Sunday. So whatever happens here is going to carry over to a nice one at Winsport Event Center coming up here on Sunday. But this one still yet to conclude as Cheney misses that one. Adeladou just dribble it over half. Cross court pass to Edgem. He's just going to take it to the rack. He gets knocked over by Tillman Jr. Takes a hard fall, but he's okay. No foul on the play. Winnipeg basketball as Simon Hildebrandt and Trayvon Scott check back in for Winnipeg. Patterson and Miller Moore in for Calgary.
It's just been a real, I mean, we've talked about it all game long. I hate to almost sound like just beating a head dead horse, but it's just been such an oddly played game. And it's been odd for the fact that team makes a three, the other team makes a three. Team makes a turnover, the other team makes a turnover. Like, they're just, it's not consistent. It's been inconsistent from the first possession almost of the game, and no one's played very well, but no one's played poorly.
Teddy Allen to the rack, can't get it to fall, but there's Trey Scott taking care of business. Off to the corner, Patterson for three. No. Fight for the rebound. Brown gets it back into Patterson, a little back and forth. And an awkward shot from Brown doesn't fall, and Teddy Allen takes the lead pass. He's going to go all the way. He's blocked. But it'll be a foul on the play. They're going to say it's, no, it is going to be two shots here for Teddy Allen.
Teddy got fouled on the way to the rim, and the fans were calling for goaltend, but that was never a goaltend. We'll see here on the replay. Teddy's going to take it downhill, go over the lane. There's a little bit of contact early as he gathered, and he'll get a chance to go to the line. And Isaiah Osborne's finally going to get a little time on the bench, and Winnipeg going to go a little different direction.
So Allen at the line. He's got 21 points, make it 22, with a chance to make it 23 here as we edge closer to target score time. 6:27 left in the fourth quarter. Target score time kicks in at the first whistle after the 4-minute mark. Allen, good on both.
Swanton Roger out there right now for Calgary. I'm assuming that'll just be a short shift so they can get the big man back onto the floor as quick as possible.
Here's Gilliard for three, but it's going to be an offensive foul called against Calgary. So Winnipeg with a big possession here to take the biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, an opportunity. Swanton Roger just got a little sloppy on that little high screen with Gilliard. He's going to get called for the offensive foul. We've seen a few of those tonight, the way the referees have officiated. So it's been a consistent thing that they've done all night.
Winnipeg working the ball around. Teddy Allen going to walk it into the paint, has to pick up his dribble. Finds some space, and he hits the shot. That is Teddy Allen.
And that's what he can do. He got into a mismatch, used his body, fade away, a little bit of a leg kick to create some space. Knocks down a little two-pointer.
Allen leading all scorers with 25. There's a missed shot for Miller Moore. Swanton Roger can't get it to fall, but there's going to be a foul here against Calgary again.
On the rebound, I think Swanton Roger's going to get called for the foul there. Miller Moore missed. Swanton Roger made a nice play, got an offensive board, went back up, jammed it, and then Trey Scott got the rebound, and Swanton Roger fouled him, trying to get possession back. And just like I thought, there's Javonte Brown coming back into the game, and Calgary looks like they're going to go with this lineup, I would think, to finish it off.
Yeah, Gilliard.
Even though Brandon Muntu didn't start, he's been very effective here, especially in the second half.
Gilliard's out there, Brown's out there, as you said, just getting into the game. So is Trey McGowan's. No one really in foul trouble for Calgary. Only player with real foul trouble, Trey McGowan's. He has 4 as we draw closer to target score time, but Rainbow going to put him out there. Head coach Mike Rainbow, that is, as that ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by, I believe, Simon Hildebrandt, so Calgary will get the possession.
Big possession here again for Calgary. A minute and a half to target score time. Down 12. They need to chip as much as they can in a short amount.
Gilliard skip pass into the corner, nearly intercepted by McGowan's. Now it comes out top. Patterson working on McGowan's, trying to find an angle. He does. He's met under the rim by Scott, but he's still able to get it go. Strong move from Patterson there.
Just bullied his way down low and just wasn't going to get stopped.
Calgary needs more of that. They're down 10. And there's 5 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. 1 minute away from that target score marker. Allen gets some space from Miller. Moore puts the three up, no good. Might have had some contact. Here comes Gilliard, finds Miller. Moore on the run. He can't get it to fall. He had too much steam. And McGowan's just going to slow it down here. Scott wants the ball in the corner. McGowan's going to go all the way himself, draws another foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. So Winnipeg really picking up a lot of momentum at a great time of the game.
You can see the Winnipeg guys at the scores table just yelling at McGowan's, go, 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 and he finally got an overmatch there against Brown, and contact from behind. He's going to get the opportunity to stretch this one out again to 12. I think that's the biggest lead.
Yeah. Tillman Jr. out there with Osborne checking back into the game for Winnipeg. Trey McGowan's shooting 2.
McGowan's knocked it down. Nice play by him. It's an interesting lineup, though. I think that Winnipeg, they're playing with Hildebrand and Osborne. We haven't seen those two together on the floor a lot. They've often played either with Krause or with Balamu, but they're going the other way right now.
40 seconds away from the 4-minute mark. It is 80-68, a 12-point lead for Winnipeg. That's the biggest of the night. Calgary wants to chip into that before target time. The shorter the deficit, the easier you make life for yourself. Gilliard, hesitation off the glass. No good. He's fighting for the rebound, but it's Teddy Allen coming up with it. It's knocked away. Nice steal by Moontu. Calgary with a second chance. Here's Miller Moore. Out to Gilliard. Gilliard for 3. That's off the mark, and Hildebrand going to secure that rebound. 4 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Target time looming. Winnipeg taking their time. Osborne guarded very closely by Gilliard. Gilliard doing whatever he can to make sure they don't extend this lead anymore. Here's Osborne, pulls up, and he gets it to fall. Isaiah Osborne having a heck of a debut here for Winnipeg.
Great move by Osborne. Gilliard all over him, making his life difficult. Just bumped him a couple times. Got him as deep as he could. Turn around, hit that little jumper over the top.
And Isaiah Osborne going to foul to get to that whistle. And with that, it is 3:38 left in the fourth quarter, meaning it doesn't matter anymore. The clock is turned off. Target score time is next.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime.
Gotta love a Canadian boost.
Two hands, me. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins.
Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama,
that anything can happen.
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Welcome back. Target score time is upon us. The next game for both of these teams is the back half of a home-and-home series when they head to Winsport Event Center in Calgary. Tip-off for that one Sunday at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock Central. And if today's any indication, it should be an exciting one here as Winnipeg leads 82-68, a 14-point lead. The unfortunate part for Calgary, Dave Crook, is this is the largest deficit they've faced, and it's at target score time.
Yeah, bad timing on that point of view. Interesting Winnipeg with the lineup they're going with. Osborne and Scott, again, the two newcomers on the floor as they go into this critical target score time period against Calgary. The other thing is they've gone with Isaiah Osborne as the matchup for Gilliard, which I think is really showing a lot of faith in the newcomer.
Calgary has Miller, Moore, Moontu, Patterson, Gilliard, and Brown out there trying to get at this deficit. Winnipeg responds with Teddy Allen, McGowan's, Osborne, Tillman Jr., and Mason Krause getting more target score time minutes for the young guard out of the University of Manitoba, and he picks up a rebound. And McGowan's going to carry it the other way and try to get closer to that target score that is 91. McGowan's with another 2.
Nice push, nice finish. I think they like Mason's defense, and that's why he's on the floor right now.
One of the best defenders in Canada West Conference history, Mason Krause. Here's Evan Gilliard trying to creep into that lead. Can't get it to fall. Goes out of bounds. It will stay Calgary basketball. Down 16 are the Surge. So a big hole to dig themselves out of here.
Yeah, I think so. One of the things for Winnipeg right now, too, I think they're in a situation where they'll be switching everything 1 to 4, with Tillman being the only guy not involved in that.
One of the big issues for this team, as Evan Gilliard was saying before the game, is learning how to close out these games. And here's Isaiah Osborne with the steal, and a 2-hand slam for Isaiah Osborne. An exclamation mark in his debut here in target score time, drawing a timeout from the Calgary Surge.
And how impactful has this guy been so far? His first game with Winnipeg, he's only had a couple days with the team, and he's out there at the most important part of the game. He's played the most minutes. He's just been so impactful. What a great effort. We talked in the pregame, or I talked in the pregame, about the fact they needed something from the Canadians, especially with Acott not in the lineup. We know that Coach Rainbow felt that with Acott and Osborne, he had a real pair of Swiss Army knives, guys who can guard, guys who can score, guys who can do a lot of things. And Osborne's showing tonight that he can be a real impactful player for this team moving forward.
Osborne has 21 points and 3 rebounds. He's the second leading scorer in this game after Teddy Allen, who has 25 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Just a great game here.
But they've both also put in a great shift defensively. They've both been really impactful. They've really made things happen for Winnipeg. This Calgary team right now, they've got to find an answer. They can't find a way to put Winnipeg at ill at ease, right? And Winnipeg's been able to do the other thing to them. They've put them at ill at ease. They've created turnovers. They've taken the ball away. They get run out like that.
Yep.
And it's happened late. And part of that, I think, is the wear and tear that happened in the first 3 quarters. And
you got to give Winnipeg credit on the defensive pressure too, right? They've struggled on the boards at times. They've struggled in certain areas, taking care of the ball, but they forced 8 turnovers. 6 of those are from Teddy Allen and Isaiah Osborne. Right. So while they're leading scoring, Osborne has 4 steals and Teddy has 2, the record 6. So Osborne has a chance to tie that if he can get a couple more before the end of this one. Here's Gilliard dropping it off to Brown, who slams that, trying to get his team back into it.
Nice play. Winnipeg extended the floor, tried to put pressure on Calgary. Bust out. Gilliard makes a nice, unselfish pass. And great finish on the inside by Brown.
In Winnipeg, you can live with it as long as you keep scoring, and that is what they'll do. 2 points away from the target score. Winnipeg not playing around with their food in target score time. Calgary needs a response. They've not won yet this season. The last win came in this building in the Western Conference Final a year ago. Gilliard thought about pulling up, skips the pass over to Patterson. He goes up, gets it to fall. Winnipeg going to slow it down. The crowd going to stand up. A chance to win it here. The target score is 91. Winnipeg just needs a field goal. McGowan's pass to Krause for 3. No. The crowd was ready to explode if the local boy made that 3-pointer, Dave Crook. My goodness.
Nice play, though. Dribble penetration. Calgary a little out of sorts. Krause slides into the corner. If you remember the Edmonton game, almost exactly the same sort of play. He got it flat-footed, just couldn't knock it down.
So Calgary gets to live to see another possession. They need to make good on these, and they need a ton of stops. Gilliard. Skip pass to the corner. Moontu for 3, no good. Allen with the rebound. It's punched away, but Winnipeg able to corral it. Fans on their feet. 2 points away from the target score. McGowan's inside. Spins up. No. Krause chasing down the rebound, and it's saved by Tillman Jr. Osborne for the win. Yes!
How fitting is that with Isaiah Osborne knocking down the winner. Hustle play there underneath by both Tillman and Krause. Ball gets thrown over the top back to Osborne. He knocks down the shot. His first game. He's the hero. What a performance.
What a debut for Isaiah Osborne. It took him a while to get here. Fans were wondering what he has. He has 24 points and the target score winner. Winnipeg takes this one 92-72. It was a back-and-forth game all the way through. Winnipeg pulled away late in the fourth quarter. Isaiah Osborne's 24 points, second only to Teddy Allen, who had 25 points on the night, as mentioned earlier. Both of them getting it done on the defensive end. 4 steals for Isaiah Osborne and 2 for Teddy Allen. And as you said, Dave Crook, on that play, just a hustle play from both Mason Krause and Jeremiah Tillman Jr., saving the ball, getting it out to the 45-degree wing. Throw it out to the safety, right? Just get it out to the wing and hope for the best. And there was Isaiah Osborne, right place, right time. Johnny on the spot, gets that one and gets it to fall. Unbelievable finish to that one. And I think what really impresses me the most on that is you wouldn't think they had an 18-point lead going after that rebound. They went after that rebound like they had the 18-point deficit to erase.
You know, and maybe this is a little bit of what we're going to see coming forward. We're going to see, continue to scrap, continue to do the things in the defensive, and they did. But the addition, Trayvon Scott, brings him some athleticism and size. And I think the big thing is Osborne brings him a multi-talented Canadian who can be impactful game in, game out.
So Winnipeg, perfect at home, 3-0 this season at Canada Life Centre. Back to vintage, if you will, when it comes to Canada Life Centre performances. Now it's time for our Booster Juice Player of the Game presentation. Here's Emily Potter with our Player of the Game. Who else? Isaiah Osborne.
He played so well, we had to interview him again. Isaiah, welcome to Winnipeg. What did you think of that performance he had?
Look, fans are great. The atmosphere is great. Just glad to be here.
Okay, you play this team really quick again in a couple days. Is there anything you think you need to clean up to be able to get this back-to-back win?
Defensive transition in the first half wasn't good, but played good in the second half, so hopefully we can just keep that going for next game.
All right, great game. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Isaiah Osborne, 2 years ago, had a game winner for Edmonton against Winnipeg and had to deal with the boos and silence. His first game as a CBear, target score winner, and gets those cheers. And the fans, quickly, he's becoming a fan favorite here with fans in Winnipeg. Stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap this all up. The Winnipeg CBears win this one 92-72. You're watching CEBL live on CEBL plus CBC Gem and CBC Sports on YouTube.
We want to thank you for not betting with Play Now and choosing our illegal gambling sites instead.
Because we couldn't afford things like this without your money.
So much of your money.
Now you might have questions like,
Do our profits benefit your community?
No.
Or bet with Play Now, Manitoba's local legal and secure gambling site.
redtag.ca.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Welcome back to Canada Life Centre as the fans come onto the floor here looking to get their autographs after another CBears win. They're 3-0 at home, winning this one 92-72 over the Calgary Surge. The Surge still searching for that first win of the season, now 0-9. No one could have predicted this, Dave Crook, a team that was in the Western Conference Final last year. Yep, they've lost some key pieces from last year's team, but I don't think anybody saw an 0-9 start coming for Calgary.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone saw an 0-9 start happening for anybody, but certainly not Calgary. They have some great pieces. They need to improve at some positions. I think they're going to have to bring in some bodies, to get better. Because right now, I don't think this team is capable of going on a run and winning a lot of games. I mean, they can win here and there, but I don't think they have the depth of talent right now, to make that happen on a day-in, day-out basis.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, a tough go for Calgary. They're yet to get a practice with their new interim head coach, Dave DeViro. Valiant effort here for the most part, right? It just got away from them at the end. And as was talking about Winnipeg, I mean, you look at the stats, it was pretty even. The big ones that stick out to me is the fact that 18 bench points for Winnipeg to only 6 for Calgary in this game. And then they had 19 fast break points. Mind you, Calgary had 14, but there were 11 lead changes in this, which is kind of crazy to think when it ends up being a 20-point differential.
It's one of the weirdest 20-point games I've ever seen. The problem for Calgary, and I think, we alluded to it, and I think is the fact that they got worn down a little bit. They made some mistakes. They made some turnovers. When the game got scrambly, Winnipeg got, a little more energy, a little more consistency, a little fresher bodies at the end, and I think that was impactful. And I think some of those starters for Calgary had to log a lot of minutes, especially in the first half when they kept it tight.
Well, if you're Calgary, you don't have to wait long to get another crack at this team. Going back to Calgary now to take on the Winnipeg CEBL on Sunday. That'll be an early evening game, 4 o'clock start Mountain, 5 o'clock start Central Time. But when you take a look at this game, as we take a look at the Saturday schedule before we get to it, Montreal Alliance heading to Niagara to take on the defending champion River Lions at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The Vancouver Bandits host the Ottawa Blackjacks. I keep saying the Blackjacks and the Alliance. Don't count them out. They're two really strong teams in the East, which is a very strong division. That one starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 Pacific. And Edmonton hosting the Scarborough Shooting Stars. Scarborough off to a hot start as well. A 9 o'clock start there as well, Eastern, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. But we look ahead to our game here, the Winnipeg-Calgary game, the rematch. What is going to be the key here for Calgary? I mean, you come in and you kind of lost the handle as it goes on here, but a little bit of time to regroup, no time to practice. So what's the key?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try to have to do the same thing again. I think part of the problem is, I think Winnipeg's going to go the same way they did tonight. They're just going to keep throwing bodies at them. They're going to try to wear them down. Calgary has to do what they did early. They did a really good job of making Winnipeg scramble. They got the ball into the paint. They created some easy baskets doing that. That's what they're going to have to continue to do. They're going to have to try to cut down on errors. I think their own errors. Winnipeg created errors. Winnipeg created steals. But Calgary made some tired plays. They made some mistakes, threw the ball away, and it just gave Winnipeg some opportunities. Even though Winnipeg wasn't at their best, they were good enough, and in the end, they walked away with a 20-point victory.
Yeah, 5 p.m. start Central on Sunday, 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Just to wrap things up here, I mean, there were some highlights. Ruggsy Miller-Moore, as you said throughout the broadcast, plays really well here. Had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of assists. And Addy Patterson had 16 points, 15 points for Evan Gilliard II, as well as Javonte Brown. So starters did what they had to do from a scoring standpoint, but again, just no support as, Winnipeg, led by Teddy Allen and Isaiah Osborne, just too strong in this one.
Yeah, I'm interested also to see how Osborne fares in 2 days. You think in some ways he's going to get better as he becomes a little more familiar with, the whole group, and that's something. The other thing was Trey Scott, I thought, also was impactful, even though a little bit more limited minutes, but he helped them out. Changes the way they can play. They can play with Tillman or without him. He can play as an undersized big, and I think that makes them effective.
Yeah, pretty much every player that hit the floor except for Nate Malamu had points for Winnipeg. Another full effort. Again, the next game for both these teams is Sunday against one another in Calgary. 5 o'clock Central Time start, 4 o'clock Mountain. Our next broadcast will be here on Thursday, June 18th. So next week, as the CEBL host the right now 6-2 Bandits, we'll see what they are there. And will we see Mitch Creek? That's the questions everyone asking. Have to wait and see. Until then, enjoy the weekend slate of games. We will see you back here on Thursday when the Bandits are in town. CEBL win 92-72 at Canada Life Center. Have a good night.
Knock 'em out the world, knock 'em out the world, knock 'em out the world with your head top down for some action.